Hey, Salem FCC youth and other people who are watching this. My name is Taylor Lind. I'm the youth pastor at Salem First Christian Church, and I am coming to you live from, well, not live, but from my room, my spare room at our house, as we're working from home, a lot of us at the church. But I'm really thankful to have the equipment to do it and to get to speak to you today. I want to talk to you a bit about the stuff that's going on today. I know that for a lot of you, life looks really different right now. That your routine is off, that you've had to do a lot of new and different things than what you would normally be doing. And in the process of that you've had some loss, that you might have some annoyances, that you might have some frustrations, but you for sure have lost the opportunity to do a few things. And maybe you're worried about stuff. Maybe you're just unsure of the future, and so you're worried about when you're going back to school or what comes next, or all these different things that come into play in our life. And maybe you're feeling a bit afraid, and you're feeling scared, or you're feeling frustrated, or you're feeling sad, or all these things. And I think that right now, there's just a lot of emotions we're experiencing. There's a lot of emotions that are happening right now. And today I want to talk about those emotions, and I want to talk about how they're okay. In fact, I think it's really important that we name those emotions. And what I mean by naming them is coming out and saying how we feel. Saying, I'm pretty frustrated that I had to come home, move all my equipment here, and I don't get to go into the office. Or I'm really sad that I missed this season of sports, or I'm unsure if I'm going to get to walk in my graduation, or I don't know when the next time is I'm going to get to see my best friend. Right? These are all really real emotions, and there is power in us naming them. I think a lot of the times people tell us, be strong and just get through it. You're gonna be fine, and you'll get through this. Just be strong and keep going through it. But I think there's strength in naming how we feel, because those emotions are real, and it doesn't mean we have to sit in them, but it does mean that we get to name those. This all reminds me of a story in the book of John. It's in the book of John, chapter 11, and it's when Jesus raises this guy named Lazarus from the dead. Right? There's this guy named Lazarus, and he has two sisters, Mary and Martha. And Jesus is a good friend of this family. He loves this family, is what the Bible says. And the sisters come and tell Jesus that Lazarus is sick, that he might not make it. And instead of rushing to Lazarus' side, he stays where they're at. Jesus hangs out where they are for a bit longer. And when he finally makes his way to see Lazarus, Lazarus is already dead. And Jesus knows that that's happened. And Jesus actually plans on raising him from the dead. But before he can get to the house, he's met by Martha. And Martha meets him at the edge of town, and she comes out, and the first thing she says to him is, Jesus, if you were here, my brother wouldn't have died. Catch this. The first thing she does is she names the pain that she's experiencing to Jesus. She names it. She brings it right out. She says, I'm frustrated, I'm hurt, I'm sad. And she names it. And they have a conversation, and then they agree, let's go see Mary, let's go see the body. Right? So they head to the house, and they meet Mary there, and Mary has the exact same reaction. She comes up to Jesus, and she names her pain. She says, Jesus, if you would have been here, my brother wouldn't have died. There's frustration, there's sadness, there's pain. Now Martha's handling it pretty well, but Mary, who we just named this to Jesus, begins to weep, and she's crying, and those who are mourning with her are crying, and everyone in the situation is expressing their sadness to to Jesus. Now, Jesus knows that he is going to heal and bring Lazarus back. He knows that the way that this all ends. He knows what he's going to do, and yet Jesus does something awesome. He sees how the family, he sees how those folks have named their pain, have named those things, that sadness, and he sits and he cries with them. See, Jesus knows how this ends, but he sits and he cries with them. See, I think a lot of the times Christians will tell you, don't worry, God's got this. You don't have to feel sad, or you don't have to feel anxious, or you don't have to feel worried. And while it's true, God does got it, and he does call us out of fear and out of anxiety and out of those places, it's okay to feel them. And it's okay to tell Jesus that you feel them. It's okay to say, Jesus, I'm mad right now. Jesus, I'm sad right now. I'm angry right now. I'm confused right now. Jesus, I'm feeling these emotions. And the beautiful thing is that Jesus is going to sit in those emotions with us, just like he did with Mary and Martha. Right? They name their emotions, and Jesus says, I see the way you're feeling, and I feel it too. And he sits and he cries with them. Look, I think there's power in naming how we're feeling. And so in the comment section below, if you want to name some of those things about how you're feeling about this whole thing going on in the world right now, in your life right now, throw it in the comments, and we'll pray for you as a group. But also know that you can come to God with those things, and that God is ready to sit in those with you and cry with you if that's what you need, or be frustrated with you if that's what you need. And in the coming weeks, we're going to talk about how do we move on from those? How does God take us from this space to the next? How do we fear not? How do we live life to the fullest as Jesus calls us to? But this week, I want you to know that there is power in naming those emotions, and that Jesus is right there with you wherever you are at in them. Man, I love you guys, and I hope that you are encouraged by this word. I hope you are encouraged by what we're doing. Follow us on Instagram, Salem FCC Youth, for the latest updates. Look out on here for videos and goofy fun stuff. If you're a parent and you're watching this, there is a guide in the description down below. It's just a PDF file, a page that if you want to continue this conversation with your student, there's just some questions and some guiding things that might help you do that. I love you guys. Have an awesome day.